gonna end up agreeing with me. He's gonna end up agreeing with. Look, watch him. Oh, this is hilarious. Yes.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I agree. I'm on his side on this. Like, no, he's right. I'm on his side. Like, I literally... Again, he's just not wrong. Okay, well, in this case, yeah. Like, listen, Metatron. I don't disagree with most of this video. Besides that, you haven't been wrong, but just why? I mean, so far, he's been wrong on nothing. Besides, like, the AI thing. The AI thing was very funny.
No, I appreciate that he pointed that one out. And we clearly kind of have had our own clashes, haven't we, over the years? At least we can show that we can have the decency to say, I think I agree with him here.
I'm just gonna say it. I agree with you, Metatron, buddy.
Facts. What? Oh, me and Alec. Hey, how you doing, Alec? Alec Gunter, he, him. He decided to talk about me again. So, Metatron falls for AI slop while rehashing 2-year-old drama. And on the thumbnail says, how can I make this about Muslims? Yeah, as if Muslims is not a topic with all the waves of millions of immigrants in the West.
So it's been a little bit since we've revisited this young man, Metatron. Apparently he's got some issues with UK officer illegally bullying Christians. Or a Christian, I should say. So let's take a look, I guess. Listen, Metatron, I want you to know I'm a changed man. I have a lot of different opinions than I used to. And I'm going to watch this with an open mind and an open heart. Okay? Without further ado.
Hello, noble ones. Welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. And don't you have a feeling that things are getting worse with each passing day? Well, today...
Not really. Actually, each passing day has been getting better and better for me.
Oh, you must love the Trump administration then. Where's the MAGA hat? Come on. Hey, we're talking about the UK.
Personally.
Again. Check this out.
Religion you're allowed to do anywhere.
But I am sorry, Metatron, that you're going through that.
No, miss. Religion you're allowed to do anywhere. No, miss. You're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church grounds, by the way. You're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church or church songs or just church you're not allowed. That's fine.
Okay, this is kind of up. Like, what the f do you mean I can't sing songs? What are you, the fun police? Am I crazy? Like what songs is she singing? There's no way that it's like inappropriate enough, right?
You're not allowed. She just said you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church. Outside of church grounds, unless you have a
license! A license! You need a license for that, bruv. Oh no! Wait, Metatron, this is just a thing they do. They get a license for everything, bruv. Don't you know? Right? You need a license for that, right? You need a license to carry around that their pouch on the leash, bruv. You need a
license for wrong thing.
License.
Are you saying that you don't care about the Human Rights Act? You're lost?
Oh my. Unbelievable.
So wait, we made an 11-minute video off of this? That's kind of wild.
Religion you're allowed.
Disgraceful. Hey. That's the hook, Alec, to connect to other topics that I want to discuss.
Listen, maybe he has some things to... I just think it's funny. You can't sing anything from the Amazing Digital Circus.
How is it funny breaking the law or manufacturing non-existing laws to prevent citizens to express themselves, whether it be with their words or with their singing? If he thinks that that's funny, I'm sure he thinks ICE is hilarious then, am I right? Then I'm sure that the Trump police state must be freaking hilarious.
Outside of streams. There you go.
Can't even speak English. She can't even form her own sentences. Can't even form her own freaking sentences.
What do you mean can't speak English? She asked for a license, bruv. That's the most English you get.
Officer. In the UK, I mean, can't believe I have to say that, but he's correct. Told a British citizen and a Christian that they are not allowed to sing church songs outside of church unless you are authorized by what?
She did say that.
By the church, but
I can't believe she said that.
Before we dive into this, also this.
Dive into it.
At the very end.
What's there to dive into? She's an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like, what more is there to say here? I can't imagine.
And there is a lot that has to say, like, for instance, if we want to bring up the 2024 statement by the UK government where they say think before you post. And there is a lot that we can bring up. And if you don't know, and you, Alec, asking this question is the reason why you don't think anything is that things are getting worse every day, because you're not educating yourself, particularly when it comes to the UK, but in general, in all the things that are happening. Also, this tells you all you need to know. The fact that extremely unprofessional behavior. Yep. I hope that this UK...
Oh, no. Wait, is this going to become the new Karen, or not Karen, blue-haired SJW? New blue-haired SJW just dropped? I think so.
Put on leave because of this. Apart from the fact we're going to double check these laws for a second, because we need to make sure, I need to know if there is a law about this. But in general, look at this. What's this? So you're doing blah to a Christian? So this is anti...
Men's and women's voices have different terminologies. That is not what I said, and that is not what anybody here said.
Christian sentiment. 100%. Yeah. You know this is what it is. I want to see if he denies it. It is obviously anti-Christian sentiment, like anyone would know that. So he's going to agree with that? Come on, Alec.
Here said,
Christian
actually.
sentiment. 100%. You know this is what it is. Gross. Disgusting. Look, here she's like, oh goodness gracious, people, can you...
Right-wing mad at laws.
Can you please deactivate...
No, it's not even right-wing mad at laws. He has every right to be upset over this. This is something I would have reacted to and been like, yeah, she's a idiot. I actually agree with Metatron on this.
Call me impressed.
Like, church songs outside of church? What's next? Like, you can't... Like, are you kidding me? Like, how do you even regulate that? That's insanity. But, like, that's all there is to say about it. She's just being a piece of shit. It's not like they were taking him to jail or anything.
Her, the singer, the Christian singer, is a girl. Well, I hope not. But then again, how far away are we from that? That's my question.
All she said was, you can't do that here, bruv. But, like, nobody's going to back her on that. There's no actual power here. She's just power tripping because she has a lack of power in her own personal life. Okay? That's all it is.
Wait, ghosting? Please? But anyways, you can see she's kind of laughing.
And that's sad,
here.
but you know...
Grin. She's so happy that she could tell this Christian that they're not allowed in England.
Actually, I kind of dig this. Okay, yeah. Actually, now that I look, yeah, she is kind of like trying to hide the smirk. No, he's right. No, he's right. Yeah. I see it.
To sing praises to Christ and that they can't do it. I imagine you can't preach at this point either in the streets, right? They do arrest preachers, don't they? But look, she's so happy about it, and then she just couldn't stop herself and went into the blah, the actual, with her tongue out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, like Metatron's doing fuck the police propaganda. Exactly.
What a clown. In the UK, yes. What a clown.
I agree.
What about this then? Why are Muslims allowed to kneel on the floor anywhere? This is not this.
But why? But why? But for what purpose? But why? But for what reason though? But why? Like, I just don't understand why we always have to jump to Muslims.
Well, in the UK, mate. I mean, it's the United Caliphate in a year or two. But regardless, of course, they are the ones. They do allow that. So what I'm pointing out in this case is we have two religions, Christianity, Islam, and they're being treated in different ways. So basically double standards, or if you could say rules for me, not for thee. What am I gonna... It is a... Islam and Muslims in the UK and the way they are treated, with also the rise of the possibility of having anti-Islamophobia laws, but there are no anti-Christianophobia laws. It's an excellent term of paragon or comparison. What would I talk about otherwise? How Christians are being mistreated as opposed to school teachers? Like, there is no connection. So I have to show two religions and how these two religions are treated differently by law enforcement, the government, and authorities. It's a very fitting example, Alec.
Let the Muslims go, man. Don't understand why we always have to jump to Muslims. Let the Muslims go, man.
Oh my gosh. This, you see, Alec, in this case, you're an excellent example of this very, very curious phenomenon, social and political phenomenon that we have with left-wingers becoming defenders of Islam, of Muslims, and white knighting Islam. I will never understand how this happened. I will never understand how, in the mind of a leftist like him, he doesn't see the inner logical inconsistency of these two positions, because you say, oh, leave the Muslims alone, leave Islam. And he didn't say this, but for those on his side who do, and maybe he will, you shouldn't criticize Islam. If you criticize Islam, it's Islamophobia. That's a form of bigotry. These are the positions that are often presented by left-wingers when they defend Islam and Muslims against either Christians or in general conservatives. Yet, the hypocrisy of that position is that if criticism against Islam is Islamophobia and Islamophobia is a form of bigotry, then how can you be pro-feminism? How could you be pro-LGBTQ? How can you be pro-transgender issues and rights if Islam and Islamic countries are in fact the very first to hate and mistreat all the aforementioned people? It is insane for me to witness this. So someone like Alec will, and I have seen him do it, fight and attack Christian fundamentalists when they oppose LGBTQ people and rights, and yet now is defending Islam and says, oh, leave the Muslims alone, even though in comparison, while some, for instance, like Southern Baptist preachers do say very hateful words when it comes to gay people and LGBTQ, I accept that. But you know what fundamentalist Muslims do in Muslim countries? They throw gay people off the 9th floor. Yet here you are, white knighting.
If you look at the violence, I guarantee you, I've never seen it before, but I guarantee you, we look at the violent crime rates in Britain against Muslims, violence.
So he's checking violence against Muslims. Something tells me he's not going to look the other way around, though, is he? He's not going to look at the violent crimes from Muslims against British people, specifically women and children. He's not going to look for that, is he?
Muslims in Britain. Refers to a set of discourses. I know what it refers to. It's pretty self-explanatory. Hate crimes. 2024 riots. Following the mass stabbing attack against women and girls in Southport, 29th... Wait, actually, that's pretty fucked up. What is that?
Oh, exactly. So he's gonna end up agreeing with me. He's gonna end up agreeing with. Look, watch him. Oh, this is hilarious. Watch him.
A mass stabbing targeting young girls outside occurred at the Heart Space, a tan studio in the Meals Cop area of Southport. 17-year-old Axel Ruda Cubana killed 3 children and injured... Okay, so it was one person.
Yes.
They said mass stabbing, and for some reason my mind was like, oh, an entire group of people.
But they exist as well with machetes. Google them. Muslims with machetes in Europe. Google them.
But it was just one guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's one guy, and he did a lot of fucking damage, and he sucks ass for that. But
and people got mad, particularly because it was 26 children.
Okay, so what's going on? False rumors circulated on social media that the attacker was a Muslim asylum seeker. Yeah, because of the fucking name, and that's it. But even if he was a Muslim asylum seeker, by the way, that doesn't mean anything. There are all kinds of bad things that happen from everybody, from every population.
Yes, but when it is people that are not supposed to be in a country, then you have to go and tell the parents of those children that it is your fault as a government. The person who was illegally in a country, for instance, when it happens with illegals, that is even the worse. That person was not supposed to be there because they're illegal. Therefore, their crime could have been prevented. It's that simple. And I'm not saying that every single illegal is a rapist or a mass murderer, of course. That would be an incorrect statement. But the problem is that every single illegal is not supposed to be in the country. Because they should come in through the legal channels in order for us to do background checks. So we can make sure, look, this guy is running away from murder from his country. Let's not put him inside our country. It's really that simple. It has nothing to do with racism, but it does have everything to do with protecting the innocents and the weak.
Day after the stabbings, a large crowd gathered outside Southport Mosque, which, here's another thing, right? Right. Bear with me on this. If he committed the mass stabbing in Britain, why the fuck wouldn't he have done it in his homeland? Right? Let's even granting them that. It's like, okay, he's a violent criminal here. What reason do you have to believe that he wouldn't be a violent criminal over there?
Absolutely would be. Problem is, these violent criminals come into our countries. I repeat, not everyone. So I'd rather they stay out. Because it is our duty to protect our own and enforce our borders.
Is it something about being around white people? What do you have to believe that he wouldn't be a violent criminal over there? Is it something about being around white people?
Well, they do have the people. When it comes to fundamentalist, radical Islamic people, yes, they do absolutely hate Christianity. They hate the West. They hate white people. Absolutely, they do. That's a fact. I mean, I'm not saying every Muslim again, but it's a fact. It's a fact. There are people like that, and we do not want people like that around us because they hate us.
What are you talking about? The crime would have probably taken place either way.
I'm not even talking about this crime specifically, but there are plenty of crimes that happen because they hate the race, a white person or a white woman or whatever it is, a woman, for instance. So even if it's not ethnically based or religiously based, which plenty are, but even if all they hate is women, we need to keep them away from women. And of course, we can't keep them away from every woman on the planet. So for now, let's do what we can and keep them away from our women. How about that?
We have no reason to believe that it wouldn't have. You just don't want it to happen here.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, I don't want it to happen here. Yeah, first protect your family, then protect your city, then protect your country, Then we could start talking about maybe we should intervene in Nigeria where they are exterminating all Christians there. Are you aware of that? Because it is radical Islamists that are doing that. And if you're not aware of that, Alec Gunter, please Google it. The Christian genocide in Nigeria, and then we can discuss what the worst types and the most radicalized versions of Islam are capable of doing. If you don't know that, Google it before you go into your white knighting for Muslims. But everything should go into a circle, and it is absolutely normal to want to defend your own. First, your countrymen, including the legal immigrant. I am a legal immigrant, so I'm not making it ethnic. But I'm saying you have to first protect yourself, your own, your people, your country, your city, and then we can start discussing diplomatic or military intervention outside.
2 years old, isn't it? You just don't want it to happen here, which is weird. This is 2 years old, isn't it? This singing incident is 2 years old. I don't care. He made the video yesterday.
As far as I know.
No, today.
Mosques have a skybox, like, Unreal Engine style, placed inside them. That's the case. And that's the Big Bang, by the way. Look at this. So they're allowed to do this everywhere they want. Ben, on the streets. In fact, I've seen them do it on the roads sometimes, like literally blocking traffic.
Yep. Look, I've seen Muslims do this thing that I don't like.
This is fine, apparently, for this police officer. Well, first and foremost, I don't like anyone to stop and block traffic. Yes, I don't care that that's their culture. This is not a Muslim country. England is not a Muslim country. So they have to adapt to us. It doesn't mean that I want them to forcefully become Christians or to become secular and atheists. Absolutely not. They can stay Muslim. They just can't enforce their own culture onto us. So, little family, Muslim, live in their house, they do their thing, who cares? But when you're allowing them to do something that they would not allow us to do in their country, you do understand this, that if I go to any Muslim country and I start praying to Jesus in the middle of a square, I will not survive. I will not survive. If you don't believe it, once again, Google Fu, my friend. Google Fu, you need a black belt. But so already on its own, I don't see why we need to conform to them, because this could be a slippery slope and it can go all the way up to Sharia law, the laws about how women are supposed to act, the laws about the money that non-Muslims have to pay as a tax so that they don't spill our blood, that's in the Quran. And absolutely, I mean, it's not used as much in countries right now, but there are absolutely Muslim preachers that say that this should be applied in the UK specifically. There are several people that are trying to push this, and I can find you the clip if you want, if you don't believe it. But even more so in this discussion, when they are persecuting Christianity, when they are attacking Christianity, where the police officers are saying you're not supposed to sing Christian songs, then I'm going to point this out because it's hypocritical. I'm like, so you're okay with the Muslim doing this? You're trying to pass anti-Islamophobia laws, but at the same time, Christians are going to be attacked like this. And even in the United States, Christians, children, and Christians in general are being targeted, particularly the Christian. We're being shot at. So we need to talk about this.
In fairness, he wasn't saying he didn't like it, okay?
I'll say it now, I don't like it.
But it is kind of giving that.
General, the UK, you're right, government. I'm not going to say the people because, guys, I feel for you. I really mean it. But look, police officer here doesn't have a problem. They're blocking the street. In fact, I am pretty sure that if you say anything about this, or even if you walk around with a Christian Bible and
that's a lot of asses.
You decide to, hey, you know what? They're going to do.
Wait a minute. Is this AI generated? No, this is AI generated. He's actually looking at an AI generated thing. Like, look at this. Look at this. No. Look. Okay. Nope, we're doing it. Hold on. Sorry, Metatron. No, this is called tough love, guys.
No, that's fine. If that shot is AI generated and I didn't notice and he did, good for him. Like, I will agree. I will accept the correction. It doesn't change the fact that there are plenty of pictures and videos that are not AI generated that demonstrate the same. So if you want to use it, Alec, now to demonstrate that I was wrong in showing that picture because it was AI generated, then good for you. I will accept the correction. But it does not remove from the validity of the broader point, which is the fact that stuff like this is absolutely happening in the UK. We have seen plenty of video footage and proof that is real. And I've got friends in the UK that told me that this happens, whereby the Muslims do their prayers on the ground, blocking traffic, blocking the streets, and the authorities are on their side. And if you go there and say anything about it, they are labeled as Islamophobic, and you could be arrested for as little as showing an English flag. All of that remains valid. All of that remains valid. AI or not.
Look at this, look at this. First of all, these asses are not asses, okay? Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
You're telling me that every single one of them is just bowed like that and that close together? Like, look at this. This guy looks like he got his old...
I mean, to be fair, that is what they do. If you've ever seen Muslims pray on the floor when they face Mecca, that's exactly what they do.
Torso chopped off. This one looks like a wooden chair. I don't know what
weird.
this thing is. Look, look, look. Literally, like, this is a car.
Yes. He's correct. Yeah, now I can see it.
This is supposed to be the back of a car right here, and it cuts into her and then doesn't come out the other side. Oh my God! Let's look at this guy. Let's take a look.
The Bobby.
This is great. This is great. We got Morris. Okay, this side looks decent.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Had a feeling it was AI. For some reason I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. Look at this. It looks like the car's floating. And look, come on, Metatron. You got to be better than this, man.
Sure, I agree with you. I should have probably put it, not that it was a main point on that video, but I agree. I should probably double check the AI better and zoom in like you did. I accept that, no problem. But it still doesn't take from the main point. It still doesn't.
I cannot believe you fell for this. You fell for this. Like you actually fell for this, man. That's crazy. Crazy work, brother. Do better.
Do this here. I'm gonna pray to Jesus here.
The car had 6 wheels? Which one? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. No. Is it what? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of these cars have 6 wheels. Both of these cars have 6 wheels. Metatron, show me a car with 6 wheels, man, that looks like this. I would love to see it.
He'll get arrested for it. 100%. 100%.
That is so
my word.
Funny.
Anyways, let's see if we can figure something.
Come on, brother. Look at this. Retired air. Wait. This is his ads, right? Retired. Yeah. You can get a lot of information from person's ads. Okay.
Let's go.
Retired air traffic controller collage. Explore the wild basic tees. Logo merch totes. Don't talk to me before coffee or.
Absolutely.
See, that's a cute one. See, like he gets little.
Yeah, exactly. That's for me. I do drink my coffee in the morning.
Cute shirts. That's fine. That's fine, brother. Let's see. We're looking at desks.
Yeah, I've been refurbishing one of the rooms.
Apparently getting a desk replacement, right?
Already done it. Police office. No, it wasn't a replacement. Come on now. I expect precision, Alec. It's not a desk replacement. That was my desk for Warhammer miniature painting on my dedicated room. That tells Christian
you can get a lot out of
a street that she's not allowed to.
Don't talk to me before my coffee. Don't talk to me before my coffee or after. See, that's adorable. Pet. He's got a little soft spot for those gooky shirts.
And sticking her tongue out to the camera. Police officer told a Christian singer that.
What's that one? Tempest. Hold on, I'm too interested in the ads now. Tempest and Teacup by Joanne. No tricks, just treats. Halloween shirt. Nevertheless, we persist. Rainbow. Hold on.
Sticking her tongue out to the camera.
We just hit gold.
Police officer. Yeah, I'm an LGBTQ activist secretly. Told a Christian singer that she was not allowed to sing.
He's gonna blow it up.
Gospel singer Harmony London 20 regularly performs.
It is. Look.
See, that's what I mean. As you see, the gospel singer was a woman. He said arrest him. So he also made a mistake because he wasn't careful enough with the details. And now that he could have corrected that mistake, he's too involved with the t-shirts. I mean, yeah, I guess we both weren't really focused on the details, were we? On Oxford Street and has more than 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, but she was stopped by Metropolitan.
No, it didn't blow it up.
30,000 subscribers.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. Nevertheless, we persist. Rainbow shirt. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
On YouTube. Great.
Did he ever wait? Is he like anti-gay? Has he done anti-gay stuff?
Not anti-gay, no. I think consenting adults can do whatever they want, and I don't particularly care. In fact, I'm not interested. I don't even classify people. I don't say this is my gay friend Tom. I just say this is Tom. And if for whatever reason it happens that it is pertinent to any discussion to specify that he is gay, then whatever. Tom is gay. But regardless, I am anti-LGBTQ propaganda, particularly when it's in games and particularly when it's extremely highly political, because I disagree with a lot of those political takes. And you will never see a rainbow flag in my house. But if you want a rainbow flag for yours, I think it's your freedom and you can have it.
I don't know. That's a cute face.
But she was stopped by Metropolitan Police Special Constable and told, "No, miss, you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church."
I heard about this.
By the way, it is not entirely clear whether the officer was accusing Harmony of breaking.
Real ingredients, real flavor. Archer minis.
I don't know what
Grass-fed
that is.
beef. Oh, he's a beef jerky man.
The law in this. Oh, that's my wife. Area, which is a council-regulated zone for busking and street entertainment. There are no laws against singing on pavements, and Harmony said the incident breached Article 9 of the Human Rights Act, which protects freedom of religion. See that? Did you hear that, Alec? Breached Article 9 of the Human Rights Act. Not that small of a thing as you were saying.
Anti-trans stuff?
Yeah,
Nice.
and here's the thing. Before Human Rights Act, which protects freedom of religion.
And anti-trans stuff?
Yeah,
Nice.
and here's the thing. Before we continue with this, it really shows.
In fairness, he was just probably looking at graphic tees, and that was like one of the ones that showed up on the side. But I just thought it was funny.
That right now, at least when it comes to authorities, they do play favorites. They absolutely do. Because I can tell you, I can guarantee that there is no single police officer who's going to go to a Muslim if they decide to sing whatever the heck they sing in the mosques. I don't even know.
Let's test that theory, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
British police officer Muslim.
You'll find nothing.
PC punched in airport brawl, absolutely terrified.
Right.
A police officer has told a jury she was absolutely terrified after she was floored with a punch to the face as she tried to arrest an assault suspect at Manchester Airport. Greater Manchester. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. No. Oh, so this was actually a Muslim assaulting a police officer.
Yeah, Alec. Welcome to reality, my friend. Welcome to reality. I told you Google Foo would prove me AI mistake or not.
Sir, wait a minute. What happened here?
Yeah. I'm
accused of assault.
Mohammed. That's the name of Mohammed. It's surprise. What a surprise.
And from Rockdale, Greater Manchester, denied the allegations. PC Ward told the trial she remembered falling on the floor and everything went back after a really forceful blow to the face. The court heard PC Ward and two colleagues had approached Mr. Imaz at a ticket machine after a report that a male fitting his description had headbutted a customer at a Starbucks cafe in T2 arrival.
But leave them alone. Leave the poor little Muslim guy alone. He did nothing wrong. He just headbutted a guy and then pounded a police officer. But I mean,
the jury has heard Mr. Ahmad allegedly resist, and his brother, Mr. Ahmad, is then said to have intervened as the prosecute. What the?
Yeah, that's now you see, Alec. Of course, I'm not saying every single one. Now you see.
The prosecution claims they inflicted a high level of violence on the officers.
Yeah.
Why the are you headbutting people? What the hell? That's insane.
It is insane. See, me and Alec agree. We're both calling out Muslim violence. What planet? What's this gonna happen? I don't know. But this happened, guys. Unbelievable.
Okay, well, in this case, you gotta arrest him.
Thank you.
Doesn't take away from my point. I'm sure there are
It actually does.
police officers who go after Muslims.
Find them.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, I can't find any police action against Muslims.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it?
Never mind, he wins this one.
No, if they even do they sing? I don't know if they sing. Anyways, if they do.
But in fairness, it was just like one chick saying, "Please don't sing our bruv, you need a license
they
for
do it
that."
in street, then they say it's cultural enrichment. That's the reality of it. It's
if anybody can find one, please.
Rules for thee, not for me. Good luck with that. As onlookers watched and filmed outside the John Lewis store, Harmony protested her innocence to the officer, saying, "You are able to sing church songs," but the officer continued to insist that Harmony could not sing outside of church grounds unless you have been authorized by the church.
I'm on his side. Like, I literally...
songs. What? Me and Alec. You see? That's what happens, Alec. Join the right. Join the right. Come on. I know you want it. Return. We can have like prodigal son situation here, right? Because he used to be conservative. That's what he said. Then he left and he became this. And then now I think he's slowly returning to the fold. I'm not asking you to become far right. I'm not far right myself, you know. How about we could be moderately right? Let's be moderate right-wingers. Let's go, Alec. You and I against the Winston.
I'm on his side on this. Like,
please,
not the Muslim thing. I don't know why you had to bring Muslims into it.
Should go viral. I explained that, but happy to discuss it. Police officers.
See, I told you.
Christian and at this point anti-Western sentiment.
New Blue Hair SJW just dropped.
Herself. Unpaid volunteer officer doesn't like gospel song. So basically, this is someone who has decided to do this for free.
Oh no! See, I told you, lack of power in her own life.
I mean,
okay?
He might be right.
Unpaid volunteer. What an L.
Just as a
unpaid. Imagine.
Yes.
Imagine working for the police as an unpaid volunteer.
What an L.
This isn't a class traitor. This is a what would you call it? Like somebody save her.
Way to mistreat Christians. That's what it is. A file photograph of Harmony London performing on Oxford Street. She's black. Holy moly, this gives it a completely different level now. Now I see why they're issuing an apology. I mean, again, not that it matters to me, but to them and that kind of stuff. Ooh, this is terrible. So this is interesting because it actually gives us a deeper analysis of their psychology and their ideology. Because I often wondered, whenever you try to think about this idea of, we need to, if Islamophobia is bigotry, yet what happens if you're a feminist? Because, I mean, feminists will have a thing or two to say when it comes to Islam and its teachings. What do you do? Because in theory, they're both very strongly represented.
It's funny because there is a type of liberal like this, and I used to be one, where like, yeah, he's not wrong. Like, there are people who are like, oh, well, we got to protect the Muslims and also like somehow cope with that and the fact that there are Muslim groups that are very misogynistic. That does exist. And those kinds of liberals will get absolutely butt-fucked in like any kind of actual debate or actual pushback of their ideals. Because, yeah, you do have to cope with that.
Yes.
You have to cope with the fact that in quote unquote Western nations, right? You have Muslim people coming in. Most of them are fine, but
you can remove the quote unquote, by the way. Western nations. No need for quotes.
They do come from sometimes some groups that are bigoted. Islam is not much different from Christianity.
Oh, it is. It is 10 times worse, my friend. If you want to talk about specifically women rights, LGBTQ and all that kind of stuff, and how to deal with infidels, sorry mate, but even the most fundamentalist Christian is gonna look like a liberal in comparison to a hardcore Muslim. That's how it is. It's how it is. I can provide receipts for that.
So, like, if you can recognize the existence of Christian bigots and Christian bigoted groups, then obviously you have to recognize that there are plenty of Muslim groups that are also bigoted.
I wish it was obvious. I'm glad he recognizes that. I agree with Alec.
Even Muslims themselves would look at this and say, yeah, that's true. Global North refers to the West and Global South refers to traditionally overly exploited civilizations. Thank you. But yeah, I get the concept he's going for. Like I said, listen, Metatron. Like I said, I don't disagree with most of this video, man.
Thank you.
I don't. I just think that the Muslim thing, I mean, what do you guys think? Was it tied to Muslims? Because now that he's framed it in such a light where it's like, well, yeah, if she's like some liberal SJW, then yeah, maybe there is something to that. Like she was trying to like to defend the feelings of Muslims or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got a point.
In the left wing and protected. So
listen, I still don't like the guy, but in this case, he might
mutual feeling. But at least we can recognize when we agree on something just as a matter of logics. I think that would be good, in fact, to show that even though we come from two opposite political positions and we clearly kind of have had our own clashes, haven't we, over the years, at least we can show that we can have the decency to say, I think I agree with him here.
Might be right.
How do you choose? I can respect that. Which one trumps which one, and I'm using the word Trump on purpose. Pun intended. What about this?
I mean, so far he's been wrong on nothing besides like the AI thing. The AI thing was very funny.
That's fine,
man. You gotta be careful, okay?
He's right.
If you want people to take you seriously, like that's the L right there. That's the L for this entire video is the AI thing.
Sounds
okay,
good.
I'm sorry, man. You cannot make that mistake.
No, I appreciate that he pointed that one out.
That is so funny.
Though, like, what is it? Is the fact that you are black and
opinion on YouTube, new AI? Considering I just now saw it for the first time when I go live, yeah, I'm a little bit miffed about that.
Minority,
to be honest,
the most important thing. So
I don't know. I'll get used to it.
No matter. The only thing, though, when it comes to his reaction videos, and I'll tell him this, though, as you see, I let you finish your points, and then I addressed what you said. You, however, talk over me. You don't understand my point, and either you provide a commentary that isn't congruent, or you have to keep going back. Maybe pause, express your opinions, and then let me speak. I think that's better. Not me, I'm saying in general. Or is the fact that she's a black Christian, so now she's a Christian. Is she an oppressed or is she an oppressor? What happens when you mixed oppressor and oppressed? Well,
again, he's just not wrong. Like, there are liberals who literally have to duke this out in their own brains.
In this case, it seems like we have an answer. They hate Christianity so much that it overrides.
This is how I used to think as a conservative.
Status that you had. Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you?
And it wasn't entirely wrong.
Facts. Facts. You're allowed, but the officer then walked away, and another said, she's not saying anything anymore, thank you for your time. The singer said, are you saying that you don't care about Human Rights Act? She then accused the officer of laughing while she was walking away. Absolutely she was, we saw that.
See, like, this officer's a fucking brat, dude.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, this is just not that big of a deal. I'm just gonna say it, I agree with you, Metatron, buddy, but this is just not that big of a deal, and the only reason people are making it a big deal is because Christians are whiny bitches. Christians are whiny bitches that because Christians are whiny bitches. Christians are whiny bitches that love to be the victim. Okay.
Right. Well, I disagree, Alec, with that one. I think Christians have a right. We Christians have a right to complain rather than whine, when our children are being targeted and murdered in our churches, which is happening here in the United States. So this idea of, oh, it's Christian victimhood. No, Christians can absolutely be victims, just like LGBT people can be victims, just like anyone can be a victim. And when you do have a status of victimhood, in the sense that something happens to your group because of that group affiliation, so not a case where, I don't know, someone robbed someone else and it happened that that person was X group, but it's sort of random occurrence. No, the persecution, whether it be small one, like the situation here, is still unjust. And so I do want to speak about it in favor of the girl who was just doing nothing wrong. It's a form of bullying, and I don't know about you, but I don't like bullying, so I want to speak about it. Of course, it's much lighter in comparison to the Christian children that have been shot here in the United States. We can absolutely distinguish the levels of gravity, but I don't think that you are in a position anymore, you, and by you I mean leftists, I don't think you're in a position of saying, oh, Christians manufactured victimhood when there are Christian children dead on the floor, being shot in the churches as they pray. Absolutely not. I don't think you have that anymore. Also because it's not even a new thing. Christian persecution happened historically. I can present all of the historical receipts for that. I'm ready to present it under Roman law, whether it be during the Principate or during the Dominate. I have all of the receipts. I have all of the sources because, of course, it's a topic that I have tackled a few times. So if you're not aware of that because you're not a history-focused channel, Alec, I'd like to underline that Christians have absolutely been persecuted for hundreds of years. And even though that level of persecution, in the sense of violent persecution, hasn't reached the same peaks as it used to back in the day, we are starting to experience it again. And so it's important to underline it. And I don't think that pointing the finger and saying, oh, Christian victimhood, stop whining, is the adult thing to do.
Okay, that is the only reason that this is blowing up the way it is, or has blown up the way it did. I think it was like 2 years ago. You're literally digging up shit from like 2 years ago that's not even that big of a problem.
It is a problem because it got worse. I would agree with Alec in that case. If this happened 2 years ago, it was an isolated incident and nothing like this ever happened again. But the reality is that even in 2024, so only 1 year ago, the UK government said, think before you post. The UK has got worse and worse and worse. Likewise, Irish governments have been going awfully terrible, worse and worse. So the situation is getting worse when it comes to both anti-Christian sentiment. Once again, look at the shootings that just happened in the Catholic Church, in the LDS Church, in the Tennessee school last year. It just keeps happening. So no, I think it's really relevant because the situation got worse.
This is the problem that people have with you, Metatron. Okay, this is worse than Collargate. This is worse, like leagues worse than Collargate. At least Collargate happened recently. Like, what are you doing, man? Why?
I'm covering everything. I'm covering all of them, old and new.
Waste your time on this bullshit. This is a nothing burger, an absolute nothing burger.
I disagree.
And you looked at an AI picture, which is hilarious.
The officer then stuck a tongue out. Man, you said 2 + 2 = 5 if that's your truth. So I don't think you are in the position, if you want to discuss that. I might make a dedicated video at this point.
Besides that, you haven't been wrong, but just why?
And
why
again,
talk about it?
The reason is because to the officer, she's an oppressor. And therefore, that's a layer of justification for all forms of improper behavior. That's your analysis for the day. Norman Brennan, a former officer and anti-crime campaigner, also tweeted bored of rewatching my own videos, so let me see this conclusion.
I don't see the same energy when like a dude kneels on a black man's neck for 8 minutes, or like a person with mental disabilities gets shot, like or
Or when Christian children get shot, I don't see that same energy here. I complain about everything. I always have. Yeah, and also, why are you making it racial? Why don't we say when someone attacks someone else? Why does it have to be, oh, when it's a white man against a black man, that's when you are expecting me to put in the energy? What about if it's a black man against a white man? Well, you're going to say it's not racism because I know that that's your position, unless you changed your mind and now you recognize that all forms of racism and derogatory behavior against people because of their ethnic makeup and immutable phenotypic traits, then this is all wrong. But I don't know, because now the only thing you're using as an example is black people. And to me, that's a problem.
Or like a 80-year-old grandpa gets knocked to the ground and then has the concussion. Like,
yeah, you know when that happened? To give you an example, it did happen, absolutely happened in the US, and it happened during the COVID pandemic. And what happened is that a man pushed an Asian man on the ground, an elderly Asian man, to the ground, and that man was severely injured and he may have died. If I remember correctly, he died. And you know, the problem is that the man who pushed him, the man who pushed the Asian man, wasn't a white guy, it was a black guy. But what academia said, what academia did, universities, I have all the receipts for this, they said it was still white supremacists' fault and it was still white people's fault, even though it was a black man who did a hate crime that was based on racism against an Asian man. They still blamed white people. You don't seem to be aware of these. Probably echo chamber is a problem. But then again, what you're doing now sounds to me like a little bit of whataboutism. But why don't you talk about this? I do. I talk about everything. I make 60 videos a month now.
Don't see the same energy when it actually hurts somebody. This did not hurt anybody. Everybody's fine. Nobody's hurt. She made a mistake.
It is ridiculous to have this point of view. In fact, it's just a matter of dismissal. So what Alec is trying to do in this case, because I agreed with him on some things, but I disagree with him on this one. What he's doing is, since he is not interested in this, probably because he's not a Christian, and so he doesn't feel affected. At this point, I'm going to say you're not black. The girl was black. At this point, I'm saying you're not affected. You're an atheist white man. She's a black Christian. So, of course, it doesn't affect you. And therefore, you're saying, well, it doesn't matter to me, so you wouldn't have made a video about it. But it does matter to me, because on one hand, I sympathize with her because we're both Christians, and also because I think it connects to a wide series and range of more serious implications of a government that does this kind of targeted bullying onto selected groups, regardless of what group that is, in this case, Christian. But it is a form of whataboutism, what you're doing here, which is a logical fallacy. When you tell me, but there are worse things that happen, so why aren't you using the same energy? I'm not using the same energy when it comes to people getting shot. I go 10 times harder. So no hypocrisy there to be seen. Think that we're disagreeing. So I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. The shootings are much worse than this. We agree. I think any person will agree with that statement. The only thing we disagree on is that for you, this doesn't matter, whereas for me, it does.
And she didn't own up to it because she's kind of a, she's kind of a bad person, apparently. Like, yeah. She's sucky. She's just a little sucky, okay? That's not grounds for firing. This is ridiculous.
Well, I don't know, because she has authority. Whether it be grounds for firing or not, that's debatable. I would be happy to hear that point of view. Personally, yes, I think she betrayed public trust and she clearly demonstrated she's a bully. So I don't think she should be in the force, but I guess that would be debatable. She was obviously enjoying herself.
Come on, man. Here's the problem. He's not even showing empathy for her, you know?
Empathy for the bully? You're out of your mind, Alec. Zero empathy. Absolutely not. I show empathy to the black Christian girl. You can't have empathy for the victim and the perpetrator simultaneously. No, I'm having empathy for the victim. Not that you would know, since you think that Christian victimhood is a matter of whining. So where was your... I'm going to close with this, Alec. Where was your empathy for the Christian victims, since you literally just said that Christians are just whining little bitches? You didn't use the word bitch, but that's what you meant. Well, where was your empathy there? Here is the inconsistency of your statement. You expect me to be empathetic towards a literal bully, but for some reasons you can't muster the same empathy towards Christians, even though our children are being shot dead. Think about it really hard. But anyways, thank you for the video. Have a good one, man.